What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about See No Evil 2. So quite a while ago I reviewed the first See No Evil and I was not a huge fan of that. This movie was leaps and bounds better. Not only was it, better than the first movie, I was a big fan of it. I thought it was overall a fantastic horror film. So I was uh, I was very pleased. I had a feeling this was going to be better. You had some big names in it, some recognizable faces, and the setting just looked a little bit better in my opinion. I had a feeling this was going to be better, and it was directed by the Saska sisters, which I have not seen any of their other movies. I need to get on that, but I mean, they're pretty big names in horror. Like American Mary is supposed to be a fantastic movie. They've directed countless other movies. They actually just put out this like Tubi original movie that I believe is a direct sequel to the first Night of the Living Dead. So yeah, I gotta check out a lot more of their stuff because this movie was fantastic. I was a real big fan. So I'm gonna get into a little plot summary here. So the movie centers around Amy, who is played by Danielle Harris, and she works at a morgue. She's working the graveyard shift with her coworker Seth, and they have like a little work crush, a little budding romance, and it's a routine night. They're you know examining some bodies, pumping them full of formaldehyde, all that nice, pleasant stuff. So, anyways, they catch wind of the Jacob Goodnight murders. They're seeing they're like watching the news, and they're seeing that these murders took place, and there's all these bodies. So they have to, you know, work all night. Danielle Harris's character Amy, she was initially supposed to leave early because it's her birthday, and she was gonna get together with some friends, sip some drinks, have a little birthday celebration. But since there's all these bodies from the events of the first movie, she has to stay, and then her friends come through to the morgue and surprise her. They party with her there, and all of the bodies from the initial Jacob Goodnight murders are transported to the morgue, and Jacob Goodnight himself is transported to the morgue. He comes back from the dead and is killing everyone. So that is the basic plot summary. First thing I want to get into, I really like the characters in this. I thought the interactions between all the coworkers were great. They were kind of joking with each other, messing with each other, shooting the shit, which, I mean, that's what you do with your coworkers. Like, it was, I don't know, they felt like real people to me. And I also liked all the interactions between the friends. I really liked Catherine Isabel's character. She was like crazy. She was wild in this, and she was so fun to watch. She was almost like a little bit of comic relief for the movie. She was great, and yeah, all the friends they felt very real as well. So yeah, you had solid characters. The setting was fantastic. You know, you have a lot of horror films set in hospitals. Hospitals are creepy, but you know what's even creepier than a hospital? A morgue. Like, without all the other elements, without the crazed killer going on, just a morgue itself is an extremely scary setting. I'm scared of all that, medical stuff and dead bodies. So the setting was extremely creepy. It was isolated too, and the setting was fantastic. And it was good as well because it offered so many setups and tools for some great kills. You had all these medical tools where Jacob Goodnight just had a plethora of crazy weapons to kill people with. So that was great, and the kills themselves were fantastic. You had a good variety. There was a greater variety of kills in this than in the first movie, and the kills were brutal. They were gory. Jacob Goodnight, he's like, this 7 foot tall brute. He was just brutalizing everyone. There's this one standout kill that I really liked. There was a throat slit later on in the movie, and you see everything. The effects are fantastic, and in so many slasher movies, someone gets their throat slit and they just instantly die. This was not the case. This was a very realistic, like the character who got their throat slit had a very realistic death where she was like struggling for several minutes after and just like bleeding out. She was in shock. She was just it was a great actual like when you saw the aftermath, like she didn't just die immediately. A lot of the kills in this were very realistic, and people were really like struggling. They wouldn't just like die right away. Like Jacob Goodnight was taking his time and like almost torturing these people. So yeah, the kills were fantastic. Another point that I want to get into, I mean, it was great to see Danielle Harris and Katharine Isabelle. I'm a huge Danielle Harris fan. I love Halloween 4 and 5. I know people don't like Halloween 5, which I understand because that movie has so many problems, but I grew up watching it, and I like Halloween 1 through 6, like the ones with Donald Pleasance in them, and Halloween 5, even though it has countless problems. There's so many like just goofy things going on in that movie. I like, you have Donald Pleasance, and I like the tone of that. It has like really good Halloween atmosphere. But anyways, Halloween 4, that's like probably my favorite Halloween film besides the first one. I've watched that so many times, and I love Danielle Harris's performance as Jamie Lloyd. She kills it. She's fantastic in the Halloween films. She's fantastic in the Hatchet films. I've seen her in countless stuff, so I'm a huge Danielle Harris fan. It's great to see her in this. I really liked her character. I think she did a great job. And Katharine Isabelle, I haven't seen a ton of her movies. I need to see the Ginger Snaps movies. I need to see American Mary, but I know her from Freddy vs. Jason, and I really liked her character in that. Freddy vs. Jason is one of my all-time favorite horror films, so I loved her in that. It was great to see her here, and Katharine Isabelle was so fun in this movie. She was absolutely crazy. Like her performance was fantastic. She killed it. So yeah, that was great. I love seeing some familiar faces. As far as I'm concerned, Danielle Harris and Katharine Isabelle, they're some scream queens. They're some horror legends. Great actresses. Big fan. So great to see them in this. Another thing that I really liked, I liked how Jacob Goodnight was resurrected. It was fun, just the fact that he came back from the dead, because that's kind of a trope in so many slasher movies where the unstoppable killer gets killed. There would be absolutely no way that they would realistically survive, but they find a way to come back. So that that itself was fun. And he basically, the way that he's resurrected is Catherine Isabel's character is having sex with her boyfriend like right next to Jacob Goodnight's body, and Jacob Goodnight's whole motivation is that he wants to, you know, kill people who are sinning, because his mother was like this religious fanatic, and she instilled this belief in him that he had to punish people who were sinning. So they're having premarital sex, they're sinning in his eyes. So he, like, when they're going to town, when they're piping away, he is like instantly resurrected because he has to stop these sinners. And I thought that was fun, and that was kind of funny, and it reminded me of Jason X, when, you know, Jason is he's dead, and then there's, you know, that young couple having sex nearby, and he just immediately springs up, and he's like, what is there, someone having sex? Like, I need to kill him immediately. There's teenagers having premarital sex. Where are they? I gotta stab them in the eyeball, you know. So I really liked that. I thought that was fun. It was kind of funny. So fantastic resurrection there. And then the last point that I have to mention, I gotta mention this anytime there's a movie where you have a sequence in a morgue, or you have some coroners. They're always eating a snack. They're always eating a sandwich and just setting it on a dead body. This movie has an instance early on where Seth surprises Amy with a birthday cake right next to a dead body. They don't like actually eat the cake right next to the dead body, but me personally, I wouldn't even want to eat that cake if it was right next to a dead body. And if I was, you know, working with all these dead bodies, or if I just saw a dead body, I wouldn't be thinking about eating like that. I would be like, get that cake away from me. It could be the dankest cake ever. It could be like a triple layer ice cream cake, you know, from the cake boss himself. And I would still be like, I don't even feel like eating right now. But I love how they always, in any horror movie where you have like a sequence in a morgue with a dead body, they're always like so desensitized, and they're just eating snacks right next to the dead body. Like, if that cake was right next to the dead body, even if I'm not eating it right next to the body, I would think there's like something on there. There's like some ghost germs on there or something. So I'd be like, yeah, you can miss me with that. I'll get a cake outside of work. So I like that little touch. That's kind of a trope in horror movies as well. You always gotta have some coroners having some food right next to a burned up, bloodied body. So that was great. So yeah, that was the last little point that I wanted to touch on. But yeah, overall, I thought this was a great movie. Like I said, you had likable characters, a great setting, some great kills. You had some funny moments. It was leaps and bounds better than the first one. Just a very solid slasher movie overall. And yeah, you had some familiar faces. You had Danielle Harris. I mean, she's an absolute legend. Catherine Isabel, she's a legend as well. So this was a super solid movie. I would definitely recommend it. I just, it's leaving, as I'm recording this, I think it's leaving Tubi in a day. But this movie is always on free streaming services, so you could find it very easily. So yeah, definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. And yeah, that's my little recommendation. I've said everything I wanted to say about See No Evil 2, so I'm going to head out here. Thank you all very much for watching, and peace out.